Hello, people. Hello. All right. Let's do it. All right, guys. It's your man, Tim Black. How you doing tonight? I got a little slightly different setup, so I'm going to need your help making sure everything's a go. Hey, everybody. How you doing? It's your man, Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black at Night Show. What up, people? Facebook Live, you in the house. I know you can hear me. I'm wondering if can they hear me. What's up, people? YouTube, Facebook Live, YouTube. What up? Big time delay, so they haven't responded yet. We'll find out in a minute. You guys ready? Goodness gracious. I'm going to try this. Hey, let's try it. New intro. Tim Black. How is the volume on this? YouTube, how's the volume? You hear me? Do you hear the music? All right, guys, what I've done. What I've done, guys, is I had to make some changes to the setup because when people call into the show, they couldn't hear themselves. So I made some changes to the show. They won't affect the beginning portion of the show, but when it's time to take phone calls, I need everybody on Facebook Live. I need you to go to YouTube. Go to IamTimBlack.com or go to Tim's Take Live on YouTube and get the digital version of the show so that you can hear the callers crystal clear like they're supposed to be heard. It's really low. Okay. That I can change. So I got to get some of the settings out. And let me just try that song again. Let me make sure. Let's try this. Tim Black. Yes, I am. True. Okay. She said, I'm loud, but the song is low. Tim Black. So let's try this. IamTimBlack.com. Tim Black. All right. They're saying that the sound is really low for them. So I'm wondering what that is. The sound is soup low. It said the sound is low on the music. Let's try some of my sound effects. Let me see. Applause. Can you guys hear that? I just did an applause. Now you said too loud. I need one person to volunteer. Bond, can you hear the clap? One person, Bond. What up? Applause is good? Okay, because that's the phone call. Listen, guys, your mic is perfect. Effects are great too. Thanks. Liberty, not a license. My phone callers who've been calling into the show have been dealing with a lot to call this show. Please believe me, they've been dealing with a lot. So I had people calling. When they call, they hear themselves. Now that won't happen anymore. It won't happen anymore, okay? So I had to do that because the show's getting too big, guys. Brother had to invest. So I sold a couple videos. I got some money. We had to do something. Lows and highs are gone. Sounds like you're miking the audio feed. Too many people. I'm going to leave it like it is. All right, guys. So look, guys. Check this out, man. Today's show is crazy. Because my man, who hit me up? Momo Pineno hit me up on YouTube. Not YouTube, on Facebook. And he said, Tim Black, man, you got to see this video by Cenk Uygur. Right? Cenk Uygur. He said, you got to see this because Cenk Uygur is talking stuff that's crazy. Right? He's talking crazy about Joe Biden. Now, Facebook Live, you may have heard this. We covered this story, right? Was it the day show? Was it the night show? I think it was the day show. You know, I do a show during the day. Facebook Live, a lot of you watch that show during the day. Because you're on Facebook sometimes probably chilling. I don't know. But I know there's a lot of people that watch that show. And I think I brought up Joe Biden because I know, on my Progressive Day show, that he made some comments about he would be a great president. He would be the best president. It's like, why is Joe saying that? So that was a couple days ago, maybe yesterday, I think it was. And I didn't think much more about it, frankly. Okay, so Cenk put out this live video today on Facebook, and some of my people saw it. My friend Momo Pineno, who does graphics, and he's a very talented guy. You guys need to hire him. Momo Pineno. He's very creative and very good with Photoshop and just all around typography, everything. Anyway, so Momo, he says, Tim, you got to see this. I don't know if I agree with what he's saying, but you need to check it out. So I did check it out. I watched the video. And Cenk Uygur of the Young Turks is saying that he believes, he has a strong feeling that what's going to happen is Hillary Clinton is going to get indicted. The investigation will go forth and she will be indicted, or things will get very sticky and they may have to switch it. And they will switch to Joe Biden. You guys hear me? You guys hear me? You know what I'm saying? Like they say they're going to switch. And Uygur's philosophy is that, and you know what? It makes sense. And I said this in the Day Show. Who's more of a threat to the establishment? Trump or Hillary? Who's more of a threat to the establishment? Bernie or Trump? Or Bernie or Hillary? All of them said, everyone I think agrees with me when I say that Bernie's the real threat to the society, to the establishment, to the way they do business today. And that the DNC is willing to lose. They'd rather have Trump than have Bernie, because Bernie going to knock the whole apple cart over and start giving out apples. And last thing we can have is poor people having some stuff. Oh no, we can't have poor people having control of their government. No, we can't have regular people having say. This is no good. This is no good to the way we do democracy in America. You got me, Facebook Live? So, I've disagreed with Cenk on a couple things, but not everything. And he may be onto something, because I do believe that. Now, I do believe that if Hillary was indicted and she could not be president for whatever reason, I do believe that they would try to slide somebody in. Just like the Republicans would try to slide somebody in. If they get an opportunity to, they would do the same thing. They would do the same. The establishment does not want people. Look, first of all, let's talk about that word establishment. All right? It's the thing that is built. All right? Established, built, foundation. The thing that exists, things that are in place, blocks that work together, cogs, if you will, power apparatus, people getting money. No, these people who are getting money don't want to stop getting money, because now all of a sudden you got this guy talking crazy about free college. You guys understand what I'm saying? Come on. What makes you think, look, you don't really think that these Democrats, and look, I'm not talking about new Democrats coming up. I'm not talking about anybody with green eyes, just hopeful and helpful and, just I want to help the people and I want to make my community better. No, I'm talking about people who've been in Washington for 20, 30, 40 years, whatever. All right? Hand that feed you, feed it, pay it. Favors they've owned or owed and paid back. And, we talking about people who are entrenched. People who've been here a while. And to their own credit, maybe at one time they came to Washington Well, they came to politics bright-eyed and enthusiastic too. And then they were snapped into reality, sort of like Training Day. Training Day with Denzel Washington and Ethan Hunt. Ethan Hawke. Remember that? It's like, oh man, I can't wait to get started. This is great. This is, whoa. We playing drugs on people here. We kill people. That's what we do here. Man. Nah, man, we don't do no police work. Nah, you can get that. You know what? You want to go do that? You can go back home. What we do here is this is how we do it. And after that, I think people change. What do you think? So the whole idea is that the Democratic Party, the Democrats are willing to piss you all off. But Cenk says now look, I don't know if Cenk is wrong or right, but this is a theory, right? It's a theory based on hunches. It's based on what we see that we know is true. But it's a theory. It requires you to have an imagination. All right? He says that what did it for him was Joe Biden said that if he could do it, he'd make his VP be Senator Warren. Elizabeth Warren. You lost. Rob Lyles says he's lost. Rob Lyles, here's the deal. According to rumors that are circulating Washington, D.C. and across the internet and people who follow politics, the DNC has planned that if Hillary is indicted for FBI for email mishandling of government information, classified information, that they will implant Joe Biden, a man who has not run a single campaign this year, has not won a single delegate this year, that they would implant him in place of Bernie. Because Bernie would not have enough delegates to stop them. That's the theory, Rob. That's the whole thing. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bing, Alex. Alex, because your name's Rob. To the moon, Alex. Get it? They're talking about stealing this thing that we worked so hard to try to get. They're talking about taking it from us. They're talking about, here is you, here's the rug, no more rug, there you go. That's what we're talking about here, Mr. Lyles. I know you don't think they're above doing it, do you, Facebook? Come on. You're too smart to think people won't do something dirty to you. Have you ever heard of the Tuskegee experiment? Come on, you really have you heard of Japanese internment? Where have you been? You don't think that your government 9/11, have you been here long enough? You don't really think that your government is beyond stabbing you in the back. Do you? Nah, you're smart. You're intelligent. My people, they know. Come on, you know. So look, I don't know if it's true or not. I just thought I would bring it up. I just thought, well, heck, guys, it's kind of a lull between, we got voting in Kentucky with Oregon, and we got some time. So I'm thinking about what the show going to be about. And someone said, Tim, we got to talk about this. Tim, you got to look into it. So I'm asking you guys. This is like a lot of parts of this, but come on. Do you think it's possible that Joe Biden will be implanted if Hillary Clinton is indicted? Because you can't. Come on. She should have been withdrew. She has 2 open FBI investigations. As H.A. Goodman and I, when he was on my show twice, some people need to really watch my archives. Somebody's, Tim, when you going to have H.A. Goodman on? He's been on twice. He's going to come back a third time, but, you need to kind of like watch the old stuff. At least Google the shit. He's put me in articles. I put him on the show. That's my guy. He's a great friend. He's very intelligent. And most of all, he's a not fanatical. That's a bad word. He's a staunch Bernie Sanders supporter, if you didn't know. Now you know. But we've been talking about this for months, man. We've been saying for months that Hillary should have dropped out. Wouldn't you be pissed, Facebook, if you found out all that money that you gave Bernie, they're going to take the election from him and give it to somebody else who didn't even run? Did you believe that? You feel me? You guys, I mean, I know a couple. I had a caller call in here who said he's giving $1,500 to Bernie Sanders. I wonder how much of that money he would want back from the DNC if they stole the election. And I don't mean stealing it like they've been doing it. No. I mean, this right here would be a straight up jack move. This would be a carjacking. This would be just, they just roll up and say, get up out the car, Bernie. Get up out the car. Get your wife. Get Jane up out the car. Get up out the car, Bernie. I mean, this is a straight up jack move. I'm not saying it's fact. I'm not saying it's a strong possibility. I'm saying it's not a crazy hypothesis. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying it's not beyond the realm of possibility. I'm saying Cenk has redeemed himself. But no. He's I don't hate on nobody. I don't hate on anyone. I'm saying touche. Mon frère Cenk Uygur. But it's interesting. I appreciate it. I need something to talk about tonight. You know what I'm saying? I need something to talk about. H.J. Osby said he wouldn't be surprised at all. He doesn't put nothing past these slick willies. You know? Don't put nothing past them. So look, guys, let me get the phone number up here. Because I mean, I've laid out the theory. I think I did it justice based on what Cenk says. I wonder if I guess there wouldn't be an echo because I have no speakers. Isn't that interesting? Okay. I just got to get used to some stuff, man. I just hope everything works fine. Oh, you know what? It will work fine. I just need to cut volume up, adjust it by the user, by the caller. Some callers will be louder than other callers. See, I need a sound guy now. You know, or a sound person. Facebook. All right, guys. Facebook Live. I need you to go to IamTimBlack.com. Okay? Go to IamTimBlack.com. Call into the show. 323-870-4064. That's the number to let me know what you think about this conspiracy. This hypothetical. All right? I don't want to call it a conspiracy theory. We dismiss those so out of handly. Let's call it a hypothetical, a scenario that's unfounded, unproven scenario, but something we're kind of considering because, as Cenk said, and he's got a point, there aren't a lot of coincidences. And when one thing happened, which was Biden coming out saying, hey, I'd make a great president, that was one thing. He could just be reminiscing, going down memory lane, thinking about what could have been. But when you couple that with him start talking about who he would make his VP, and then the fact that Senator Warren hasn't come out and endorsed anyone, like maybe, hey, I'm just saying, it's just, just something to think about. All right, guys, 321-870-4064. I want my people to be able to hear the show. Please come to IamTimBlack.com or Tim's Take Live on YouTube. And I will start taking phone calls. And, hey, man, no better time but the present to see how this goes. All right. I'm going to my first call. I might need to do something with this laptop that's way over there. It's too far. Okay. Let me try this. I'm going to go with the first number as usual, guys. I'm going to go in the order that the numbers are in the queue. So if you call up, trust that I'm going to get you in as you call in, okay? The first number, I'm going to write down a couple numbers because I don't have that much real estate here. It's another thing I need to do, buy more real estate. My first number, I'm going to go to you in a minute, is 828-77 something. That's it. I ain't telling y'all no more, nobody else's number, no more of that. 828. Let me try you out, 828. Hello, 828. You're live on the show. Who's this and where you calling from?
Hello.
Hello. How you doing? Can you hear me? Oh.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You can hear me. Okay.
Hey.
Okay, I hear you.
Yeah. Okay, so this is Katie Barden. I did call last night, but I was really nervous. And I just have a few questions. So, first of all, the coin tosses.
Hold on. Katie, Katie, have you been
listening?
It's ridiculous. Katie, have you been listening to the show?
I'm about halfway. Well, I just tuned in.
All right, because we got a subject today, but you hear me, and you obviously because you have responded. Does it sound any different to you on that end from yesterday?
What was that?
Does it sound different on the phone than it did yesterday when you last called in?
Yeah, I called in yesterday.
Does the phone sound any different today?
It's a little muffled. I do have you on my YouTube in another room. Should I turn off the TV?
Is that where are you hearing my voice at? On your YouTube or on your phone?
On my phone.
Okay, that's good. Okay, that's a start. You should be listening through your phone.
So you're saying you want our feedback on the conspiracy. Are you talking about the voter fraud?
No, we were talking about you know what? It's too long to go. Just go ahead and make your comment.
Oh, yeah.
The intro was too long.
Can I just ask you one question, and then maybe you can chime in about it later in your show?
Cool.
Do you think there's any way that they will recount the votes in New York? And then I'll, since I kind of tuned in late, I'll hop off of here. But I wanted to know if you had an opinion on that.
Okay. Well, thank you, Katie. Wow. They better do something.
And I'll let you go, but...
Okay. Well, look, Katie, they better do something. They better do something with New York because we got a lot of pissed off people, which is evidenced by my man Nico House and the crew that showed up there at the Board of Elections. But I don't know what the ruling is, man, what the decision is going to be. I would like to say yes, but I don't. You must be talking about those absentee ballots, not the absentee ballots, but the provisional ballots. You know, lady, I don't know. Maybe someone else knows. I don't even want to guess. I'm not. I know they've done it in the past, right? I heard that maybe not New York, but there is a precedent for doing that, okay? But I don't know. I don't know. I don't even want to guess. I don't know. I hope people can hear me well. Provisional ballots. There's a deadline. Okay. Yeah. And I'm glad everybody can hear me, man. Thank you guys for supporting me so much. Guys, I don't mean to be tough, but I think this sounds better to everybody listening. I got to do it this way. Let me go to the next call. I really need to move that laptop, man. Thank you guys for bearing with me as I try to make this better. I can't be reaching way over there like that. That looks funky. I'm breaking stuff. See what I'm saying? See, now I got no room to write down numbers. So now I don't have to be all crazy. Let me try this. Okay. Thank you guys for letting me get out the kinks. But at least this way I can go right to people. Okay, 704. How you doing, 704? You're live on the show. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, Tim. It's Sean from North Carolina.
Sean from North Carolina, man. How you feeling?
All right. Hey, Tim. That really wouldn't surprise me. I mean, with Joe Biden jumping in there. Now, I like Joe Biden. Don't get me wrong. He's been a picket guy. He's my type of guy. He walked the picket lines kind of like what Barack did, brought his way up through supporting unions and everything. But the bottom line is the Democrat Party is broken. So don't be surprised to see them do anything to keep the status quo. Now, look at what Hillary did before the election and the campaign even went off for the nominee. She went and courted all these super delegates and put them back in her pocket, like, so that she could, you know, you don't stand a chance, no one's going to beat me. And I mean, with what I've seen and what I've learned since Hillary has told us we need to research, all of us Bernie people, well, I went on research mode. And everything that I researched seems to be backfiring on Madam Secretary. I mean, everything that she was a Goldwater girl, you know, so don't be surprised to see Joe Biden jump in there. I wouldn't really think that Joe would do that, because he always, to me, has always seemed to be on the up and up. But hey, corruption and money and greed and power oversees anything anymore from what I'm watching with these politicians. They've lost their way. And it's like Bernie's just not trying to become the president of the United States for his own purposes and everything. He's doing this because he sees that the Democrat Party is broken.
Right.
We have loaded our party up with lobbyists. Look, Barney Frank is a lobbyist for the bankers, and now he's in charge of a rules committee that involves everything that's going to be decided in our party. Number one thing I hope Bernie does when he's on that convention floor is totally demand that they get rid of this, that we shouldn't have lobbyists making the decisions for us. That, you know, that's ridiculous. I mean, how could they, you know, so getting back to your thing, Tim, don't be surprised to see them do anything at this point.
Right. Because
when Bernie wins a state and he keeps winning states, their throats are starting to get tight. It's hard to swallow the cornbread. They can't even, they won't even be able to sip on a glass of milk when Bernie wins California and he passes her in delegates. Because now what's going to happen when Bernie pulls ahead in delegates, which he's going to do, everybody's going to be stunned, because everyone has gotten something that's happened. You can't keep the light back.
Right.
It's like you, Tim. They're not going to be able to keep you back. You're going to go soaring into the media because you tell the truth. And that's what's with Bernie. Why is Bernie doing so well? He's honest. They cannot find anything wrong with Bernie. So do I think really that Joe Biden, they might do something like this in conspiracy? Look at your elections. Look at what Nico had to do.
Yep.
Look at Nico had to go out there and pour his heart out to these people who sit there and look as dumbfounded like there wasn't a problem with the New York voting process.
Right.
I mean, it's unbelievable. Everything in our voting process right now is corrupt. What's going on right now, what they're doing to Bernie is corrupt. The DNC is such a joke anymore. I mean, my personal thing, I only send to the people that I support. I don't even send through Act Blue. I don't even trust them no more. They just said that Hillary is keeping 99% of her campaign money, but she was pointing the finger at Bernie. What a better way to do it than to point the finger at the other guy.
Yeah, that's what they do. Distraction, deflection. You're right. Exactly.
Exactly. And I mean, so with what, I heard a little bit of what Cenk said the other day. I caught some tail thinking, and I said, would Joe Biden really do that? And I said, well, nothing surprises me. I mean, look at what they've done with the super delegates.
Right.
Look at the whole way they've shunned Bernie. I mean,
right.
Nothing. It really doesn't. I mean, I could actually see them if Hillary gets indicted. Which, hey, I just read something a half hour before the show that Russia has 20,000 of her emails. That she was so negligent that we're going to put somebody in charge of our country, the greatest country on this planet, to put somebody who in charge who was so negligent that she allowed stuff like this to happen with her emails. I mean, that's not a very good idea to do.
No, it's not. It's
and
not
so
only.
she's
Yeah,
decided, or if they come after her,
right.
I would be surprised for them to pull anything out of their house to keep the status quo, because our media is broken, our Democrat Party is broken. Our everything is. We're no longer a republic. We are in a state of oligarchy, people.
I hear you,
We
Sean.
are living in a days where the rich and the elite are controlling everything.
Well, look, Sean, I gotta leave it there, man.
Yeah.
I gotta keep it moving to the next call, man. But I appreciate your phone call. Okay.
All right, Tim. Have a great night.
You too, Captain.
Keep up the battle.
You know it, man. Let me try the supplies button again, guys. Yeah, I'm just concerned if they can really hear me clearly. But at least I think the system picks them up well, because I have either way. Let me say this, man. This is something I was thinking about while Sean was talking. Remember when Bill Clinton threw Joe Biden under the bus about the whole super predator thing? How many people remember that? I talked about it. I talked about it in a video. I said, that was kind of dirty. Why would Bill Clinton throw Biden under the bus in a conversation that had nothing to do with Biden? He blamed Biden for the 3 strikes law. He said Biden told him to put that in the bill to get the bill passed through the Republicans. Remember that? Who remembers that? You know what I'm saying? Come on now. Remember that? Why did Bill do that? And I told you, I said, you know what? Don't underestimate Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton is rascally rabbit. That rascally rabbit, that slick Willie Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton's always up to something. I knew he hadn't lost it. I knew he had a reason for doing it. He tried to muddy the water, dirty the water for Joe Biden. I'm just saying, it came out of nowhere. He's up there talking. Remember, guys, he's up there talking. Black Lives Matter is in the audience, heckling him. Heckling about 3 strikes law. Heckling about mass incarceration. Heckling about super predators. And he defended Hillary, and then he threw Biden under the bus for his part of it, even though 6 months earlier he took blame for his own bill, his own law, and apologized about it. And then all of a sudden he changed his total trajectory, is defending it, and he's blaming it on Joe Biden. I don't know, guys. I mean, that's a smoking gun. Cenk didn't bring up that part, so there you go. You heard it here. All right, guys, let me go to the next call, man. I want to thank you for holding on. I'm going to phone number 562. 562, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Tim Black. This is Marvin from California. First of all, I hear you well.
Man, perfect, man. Perfect. I'm just hoping. And you know what?
All the applauses and stuff, too.
That'll work, man. That'll work, man. Appreciate you so much for sharing that info, man. I have no way of knowing until after I hear the show at the end. But yeah, man. You know,
so to your
yeah.
point,
Is it crazy or what, Marvin? What's up, man?
I honestly now because this video right now is the first time I've heard this. I saw something flash up in Twitter earlier about Cenk saying something, but I didn't follow the story. And so this is actually the first time of what I'm hearing, what it's about. And now that I heard it, I'm expecting it. I'm burning our bus, but I expect it. And why? Do I think Biden would do that? Yes, I would. Not to say that Biden's a bad person per se, but he's part of the party.
Yeah.
The whole thing of this election has been party, party, party. The party comes first. And yes, so because of that, yes, I do believe he would do it. And deep down, I'm kind of expecting it's going to happen because Bernie Sanders has built up a momentum that we've seen the differences in the rallies of the people that are present at Bernie's rallies versus the mainstream media fake photos that make it look like Hillary's packed place, but she's really in like the small corner of a gym. there's no enthusiasm for her. Anybody who is voting for Hillary has to be for the status quo. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. And I bet you the people that's in those pictures of Hillary Clinton rallies, most of them are big time boosters anyway. You know, they're not the average person unless they're going there to protester. So to wind up my point, yeah, I fully expect something like this to happen because the DNC has showed themselves to be just in the open corrupt.
Yeah.
You know, just I guess they felt that the American people put up with it for so long that we was going to just keep putting up with it, and we was just going to keep, you know, saying something about it every 4 years. But then, okay, the next president says, "Well, I'll do this," and you know, it dies down. But this time is different. You know, coming after the 2008 recession, 2009, you know, people losing their houses, then coming 8 years later, finding out that too big to fail, that should have been broke up, admitted to the fraud. Come on.
Yeah.
Nobody went to jail for that.
Nobody went to jail.
And the DNC is complicit in that. They're those too big to fail are the biggest donors to the DNC. So yes, I fully expect it to happen. Damn, that's the end of my point, man. And thank you for having me on.
Hey, man. Hey, sure, man. Thank you, Marvin, man. Give it up for Marvin, y'all. Man, wow. Marvin, hey, look, man. He's right. I don't put anything past him. Like, because it's a party, y'all. It's not a house party. He said something very, very poignant. Think about this. He said, it's party first, not people first. Oh, are we getting a little sidetracked, man, into believing that we have more, I don't know, people or more power than we do? Like, did we actually think that the Democrats are just going to sit back and allow us to take over the party without a fight? I mean, they've been fighting us at the polls. Maybe we were. And I'm not saying it's true, but I'm saying, you know, I made a video and I said no easy revolutions. Is this too easy a revolution for us? Like, just get the votes and they didn't play fair, but you know what I'm saying. Like, they did everything to put barriers up. I mean, guys, you gotta watch my earlier video today, because Andrea Mitchell interviewed Bernie Sanders and she brought up some things about Hillary Clinton having to fight two wars, one with Bernie Sanders, one with Trump. And Bernie defended himself, rightly so, and he said, hey, don't talk to me about I thought we were running for presidents. I was under the impression that we were running to become president. Enough about your damn emails, you know? And he said, you know, I mean, Bernie's been putting up with fighting the establishment, local mayors, local governors, misinformed, uninformed voters, voter suppression, polling places shutting down, not opening, election booths not working, all types of craziness. Now, I'm not even talking about the media, the Rachel Maddow's, Chris Hayes's. I'm not talking about print media, Washington Post, Salon, Slate, Mother Jones. I mean, the list goes on. They kept throwing these obstacles, and he kept clearing the obstacle path. You know, like, what's it, my man, not Jesse Ventura, the other one, man. My guy with the show, with the talk show, with the podcast. I like that guy, man. What's that guy's name, man? It's not Jesse Ventura, it's the other guy, man. It's the wrestle. I like this. I'm pissed because I really do like his podcast. Cool guy. Anybody know the guy I'm talking about? Anybody know him? Gosh, I can't remember his name. But anyway, he's got a show that's like Heartbreak or Stonehead or Stonehenge Mountain or something, an obstacle course you got to go through in order to, like, you compete. Right? It's really cool. So anyway, Bernie's been clearing all the obstacles, like the ring of fire, the thing you crawl over it, and then you gotta balance yourself on this other thing, and then you gotta dart through this other thing, and then go up this hill. Then the very end of the obstacle course, you gotta climb this rope. It's like 50 feet. And you gotta ring this bell at the top of it. Anybody know what I'm talking about? That Joe Rogan. That's the old one. Steve Austin. David Wright, you are right. Thank you, David Wright. Steve Austin. I like Steve Austin. I like his Unleashed show. I like Steve Austin. But that's what they done to Bernie. And at the end, but see, unlike Steve Austin, Stonehenge or Stone Skull Mountain, see, Skull Mountain, I knew you could do it. You're a tough son of a, unlike Steve Austin, see, Steve actually wants you to win. Maybe not you, but he wants someone to win, right? He's pulling. He's running through the obstacle course. He's telling them, I saw one where the ladies were competing. Come on, girl, you can do it, lady, you can do it. You are one tough son of a gun. Come on now, got to make up this time. And he's rooting for her. He's pushing her. Because, see, unlike the DNC, Steve Austin actually wants someone to win and survive the obstacle course and make a good time to make it competitive. But, see, the DNC is the opposite. See, especially when you got a candidate like Bernie Sanders, who, if he completes the obstacle course, your job may go bye-bye. And you know what? People have died for less. Things have been blown up for less. You talk about taking somebody's livelihood, no matter if they got it legally, illegally, if they did it ethically or unethically, all they know is, I want my place at the table. Who's this guy coming in here? Trying to take my place at the table. So anyway, guys, that's my little rant in the middle. I just had to throw that out there. Let me go to the next call, see if anybody understands where I'm coming from. Maybe I'm loony, maybe I drank too much coffee. That's coffee. Maybe it's too much coffee going on. Maybe I need to switch back to green tea. Tim Black needs to calm down. But 219, I'm sure you'll let me know if I'm making any sense at all to you. 219, how you doing? You're live. What's your name and where you calling from? Hey, 219, you're live. You're live. Who's this?
Oh, sorry about that. Hello?
Hey, how you doing, man? What's your name and where you call?
Yeah, it's a new caller here.
Okay, cool. Fantastic.
Jim from Indiana.
Jim from Indiana. That's my guy, man. So, Jim, what's on your mind, man? What's on your mind, sir?
The news is what I was reading on Newsmax not too long ago that Joe Biden, they jumped in. This was not too long ago, and I ran across the story. I watch this show all the time. I just want to let you know that.
Oh, thanks, man. Thank you.
And, as soon as I get a chance, I will donate. But I just wanted to let you know that I did see something about Joe Biden may be jumping in on Newsmax.
Wow.
I don't know if you ever heard of that paper or not. So
yeah, I've heard of it.
This is a while back too.
Yeah.
How
long
I think
ago?
That might happen.
How long ago, roughly, could you say?
About maybe January. Somewhere right around there, maybe a little after.
Okay.
But I would have to look it up again. But as far as hello.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I could see your lips moving on the TV, but I couldn't hear you talking.
Oh, okay.
Got a little delay there.
Okay, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Internet.
But basically, I think that might be what Cenk said. About Biden jumping in. That might be true. It just might be true.
Well, how would you feel? How would you feel about it, Jim? Jim, how would you feel about it if he did? Would you be adverse to it? How would?
I'm Bernie or bust.
Bernie or bust. Yeah. So am I. Yeah.
I'm Bernie or bust. Thanks to you, I'm Bernie or bust.
That's what's up, man. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks to you, I'm Bernie or bust. That's just the way it is. But I think you're a very smart guy. You know, I pay attention to everything that you say. You know, I really do, and you know, I'm a disabled engineer, so you know, and I've been around for a while. I've done television, radio, and all that stuff. I could have given you a hand, but I can't at the time. But what I want you to do is I want you to keep my number.
Okay, I will do that, my friend.
Yeah, give me a call. As a matter of fact, give me a call as soon as possible. I got a lot more information for you.
You got it, Jim.
And I'm going to leave it at that.
Very cool, Jim. Thank you very much, man. I will definitely give you a ring, man. All right.
Yeah, do that, and I'm going to leave it at that. And go ahead and listen to your show.
I appreciate it, man. Give it up for my man Jim. Jim said he's burning a bust, man. So don't get him twisted. He's burning a bust, and you know that's a warm place in my heart right there, man. 'Cause you know how I feel. You know, the thing that's got me, and I wonder how much of a delay is in between my voice and what they hear. I think now people got to hear me on TV. It's crazy. But I'll say this. I think some people are going to be thrown for a loop, Jim, because a lot of people weren't even thinking about Biden. See what I'm saying? Like, they already had locked in their head who was on the field. And they're thinking, these are the players, and I'm not even, wasn't even thinking about anyone else. And now you throw in this curveball, which is Joe Biden. That's going to, make people recalibrate. And I think that's the point of it. But like I said, it's a hypothetical. I don't know. But it's not crazy to have insurance, right, guys? Right? You feel what I'm saying? Facebook, guys, you have to call the show, 323-870-4064. You can't hear my callers, and this is not cool. I don't want to do this to Facebook. Facebook Live is so good. During the day, I will have the regular setup. But when I do the show at night with the phone calls, in order for the phone people to hear, I have to do something different. So please, if you're on Facebook Live, I'm sorry I didn't. If you tuned in after the beginning, let me just tell you, you need to come to IamTimBlack.com. That'll take you to my YouTube channel, and then you'll be able to hear everything through YouTube, through the internet, and you'll hear my voice and their voice, and I would appreciate it, guys, because I don't want to leave you out. You're my people. I don't want to leave you out, man. I want to thank you for calling, for being here. Let me keep it moving, though. 720. Change is hard, Change will get you, But brother got to upgrade, man. I can't keep on putting the speaker by the microphone, man. Back in the day, we used to rap like that, man. Beatbox, you beatbox, and I put the speaker by the mic. Come on, man. We was broke. We didn't have equipment. 729. 729. I'm sorry, 720.
Hey, Tim.
Hey, how you doing, man? What's going on?
It's going. So we've seen it in the news. We've heard Bernie himself talk about how the Democratic Committee is stacking the credentials and the rules committees for the National Convention. And I called in to tell you in an earlier show about how delegates are being threatened, that if they're Bernie or bust, their credentials are going to get pulled. And originally I thought, okay, well, they're just trying to stack in Hillary's favor. After hearing what Cenk had to say today, I was like, no, this makes perfect sense. They have a whole list of delegates that are Bernie or bust that they know will not vote Biden. So they want to take them off the table so the Hillary folks will just listen to her when she says, oh, just turn your vote to Joe. And they would be in the majority.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I mean, if you look at the way they're stacking it, it kind of makes sense that that's their contingency plan.
Yeah, I think it's almost foolish, my man. I'm sorry, what's your name and where you calling from? I meant to ask you that.
Oh, this is Gabriel McCarther from Colorado.
Gabriel. Okay, Gabe, because I like saying people's name when I talk to them, man, too. But Gabriel,
oh,
man,
yeah, sorry.
You know what I'm saying? It's all good, man. Gabriel, I feel a little crazy, man, not even thinking this far myself earlier. Like, they would have to have a contingency plan. You know what I'm saying? Like, they've had a lot of time to see this momentum. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's just good business to say, hey, what are we going to do to stop this?
Well, the people on the inside, if Hillary is going to get indicted, the people on the inside definitely have a look into what's going on. Like, right. They know more than we do. So They want to keep it quiet. They want to keep the involvement connected to her to the minimum. A lot of these superdelegates are just chomping at the bit to flip their vote, just not for Bernie. They want to do it for Biden.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I tell you, Cenk will have broken a big story if this is true, man. I will give him all props for it. Yeah, that'd be a big deal.
Yeah. Well, and he's not going to talk about it if he doesn't have a pretty solid look on it.
Yeah. Well, I caught him on just a generic Facebook Live where he does like I do when you just hold your phone up like I'm doing now. I got my iPad sitting there. He did it like that, but I don't know if he followed up and did a segment on the show, the actual show that way. Do you know, Gabe?
Yeah, you're right. Sometimes we kind of run, especially his conspiracy described up on the county level, let alone the national level.
Interesting. Well, look, Gabe, man, thank you very much for your call, man. Do you got a closing remark for me on this subject? Anything?
Well, I still want to make it clear that the more we talk about how much we expect this to happen, the less likely they might be to try it. Because then they know we have our own contingency plans.
We need one. Look, Gabe. We need to put our heads together and come up with one. I think we need to start getting into that territory now, because a lot of callers have called so far. No one said, "Tim, you crazy." Everyone's like, "Yeah, that makes sense." So, just off the top of your head, what would our contingency plan be?
Well,
I think it's throw eggs at the White House.
Stay connected.
Stay connected. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we got to be prepared for this at the convention and stay united, because if some people are willing to possibly flip for Hillary and they're Bernie delegates, like, they're going to be convinced to do it. So we got to be united. We got to have a united front and show them we're not going to play games with them anymore.
Hey, well, look, man, we will definitely see. Thank you, Gabe, for your call, man. I appreciate you, y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, man. Look, Gabe's got a good point, man. We're going to stay connected. But I've already vowed to stay connected to everyone. And we're going to keep talking about progressive issues regardless of what goes down here. Because we don't control what crazy, what unethical shystiness. Shysty, it's a word. We use it in the hood. What underhanded, dirty tricks people may try to pull. But together we have a lot more power than we do singularly. And what I don't want is people going back, plugging back in, to the system and forgetting everything that they've learned. That's the last thing we can do. So we got to stay connected. Why? Because once you're awake, you can't be unawake. You can pretend, but pretending doesn't work, once you find out someone's cheating on you, it's kind of hard to act like you don't know. You ever had that situation, guys, where somebody did, you with a girl or with a guy, whatever, and then you catch them doing something and you don't even tell them you know? How long does that last when you find out they got that phone number they ain't supposed to have? How long can you shut up? Be like, oh, okay, I see now. Well, I ain't gonna say nothing. I know it though. How long can you shut up? So you can't hold it. Who can hold that? You just be waiting to let that one go. Like, yeah. Oh, one of these days I get the ooh. And yeah, I got that one. Then you should have saved it and you end up using it. Well, that's the same idea here. Okay? What I mean is, regardless to what happens in this situation, nobody can go back to sleep because you know what you know, and you ain't gonna be able to keep it a secret. All right, so let's keep it moving, guys. Thank you so much. I'm going to my next call. I have a 718 number here. 718. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hi, Tim. It's Mimi Martinez.
Me.
How are you tonight?
I'm good.
Tim. Tim Black. They're trying to take our cornbread, Tim.
I was thinking that they are trying to take our cornbread. Man, I don't know what's wrong with these people trying to take our cornbread, Mimi. You see, you done got me started now.
They not.
There's gonna be consequences and repercussions.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
They're not gonna take out cornbread.
No.
No, I'm calling because I just recently heard about this Joe Biden thing too, and it's not. I can't accept that. No, I don't think that you can steal the election nomination after all the hard work people have put into supporting Bernie Sanders, the money that he's raised, our donations, our canvassing, our phone banking, everything that we have done, and just put in a candidate that they want. It's just not fair, and I don't think we should stand for it at all. This is if they do pull some type of slick move like that, I think it should be protesting on a national scale.
Yeah.
You know, it's a stolen nomination, and it's just uncalled for. I don't want to have it. I'm not for it at all. I think we should put our ducks in a row and start planning now, just in case that does happen. But I'm really hoping that they're not going to be that dumb to do something like that. But you know, I thought about it earlier today. You know, they want to protect that. You know, you think about it, and they're protecting their money. It's all about the money.
Exactly.
And let's say, for example, if I'm making $20 million a year, they cut with Bernie's plan. I'm gonna come home with still $10 million, but for them, it's like $10 million gone. Instead of putting it towards something progressive, something that's for the people, they don't think that way. They want to stick to their money, and it's not like they raise this money in a good way either. They exploit people in poverty. Even in our own country, with people without jobs, like, it's not honest money that they're even protecting either. So I can't. The whole thing, I think it's time for us to just really get it together and stand up and say, we're not having this no more. Because I'm already grounded. I'm already grounded. I'm already fed up. I'm not having it. If it's not Bernie, it's nobody. I'm not having it. It's Bernie or bust.
I love the fire, Mimi. I love the fire. And you know I agree with you 100%.
I'm serious.
I agree with you 100%.
I'm serious.
I put too much into this. You have all the videos I made, and then they're going to just take my man out the race? Oh, no. Oh. Yeah. They're going to have to come get me.
Exactly.
They're going to have to come get me, Mimi.
Exactly. I agree with you 100%. They're going to have to come after us. But the thing is, there's more of us than there is of them. And they fail to see that what the people want, in the end of the day, that's what the people is going to get.
Hey, man. I thank you, Mimi, for your comments, lady. I appreciate it. Thank you for your spirit and your no taking prisoners, and also for the cornbread reference. I appreciate that. That's what I'm talking about. Come on now.
Nobody take no cornbread from me.
That's right. Ain't nobody taking no cornbread from me. Let me go to my next call. 313. 313, thank you for holding on. What's your name and where you calling from? You're live. 313.
Hello?
Hey, how you doing, 313? What's your name and where you calling from?
How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. What's your name and where you calling from, sir?
Oh, hey, how you doing, Mr. Black?
Hey, what's up?
My name is Walter Williams, and I'm calling from Detroit, Michigan.
Walter, my man, thank you so much, man. What's on your mind tonight, Walter?
Well, I got to tell you, man, like everybody else, I'm feeling the burn.
Yes,
you know? But, you know, it just tears me apart to know that they're trying to buy this election. You know what I mean?
Yes,
I mean, it's just a travesty, man. But you see, I can tell you one thing, man. Bernie Sanders, he's a man of his word. He got God and the Lord on his side. And no matter what they try to throw at him, he's going to come strong and on top. People like Debbie Wasserman Schultz, Hillary Clinton, and I'm surprised at Joe Biden. I mean, who would think Joe Biden would want to step in and try to decide the nomination, if that's possible. I mean, you tell me, man. I mean, it's like a soap opera. It's just like a soap opera, and people are not going to fall for it,
Right. Right.
I mean, it's just devastating to think why Hillary Clinton would want to steal. Yeah, now don't get me wrong now. There were times when I would wish to have a woman president. That's true. But not her. She's only doing more harm than good. And she fails to realize the consequences. It's like voting for Hillary Clinton is voting for Donald Trump. And I'm sure neither one of them meets that standards. I mean, none of them have the, okay, she may have been Secretary of State and all that and all this and that, but she doesn't have the know-how like Bernie Sanders. At least Bernie Sanders walked the walk and talked the talk.
Right.
Hillary Clinton, on the other hand, she don't know her head from her butt. And what she fails to realize, it's like she's leading this country. I don't know about her personally, but it's like she wants, God forbid, to get the nomination so that they can attack her well, because that Trump is all for bear now to attack the woman. And God forbid, if he gets in there, we all can kiss this country goodbye, because them other third world nations, especially North Korea, they're going to be monitoring this election.
Yeah.
Mark my words. So all I'm saying to the people out there, don't give up. Fight for Bernie Sanders. Fight for your future, because this is our last chance. And our future is at stakes. But you can't tell Debbie Wasserman Schultz that, or Hillary Clinton, or any other pundits like the news media, because they don't care, because they're all rich. They're all rich. They don't care about what's happening to the atmosphere. They don't care about what's happening to the environment. Global warming, as we know, it is worse, and it is real.
It is. It's very
so people better wake up and smell the coffee, if you know what I mean, because Bernie Sanders and them, they know what's up. They know what's up. They know what the pundits is up to. They know what the big establishments is up to, the corporations. They know what Deputy Wasserman Schultz is up to.
Yep.
That's why they're going to stay in this they're going to fight this to the very end. But what I'm saying to the people out there who's supporting Bernie Sanders, and I'm one of them, don't give up. Fight this, because this is our last chance, people. It's no turning back. This is our last chance.
Wow. Well, look, Walter, man, Mr. Williams, I appreciate your phone call, man. I appreciate your spirit, man. And I agree with you. I don't see many coming after Bernie with the same type of empathy for a fellow man. That's what I see in Bernie. That's what attracted me to his candidacy, was just the authenticity that I could sense in his speeches, in what he's been doing. The track record alone. I mean, he's been saying the same things for 30 years plus. Where are you going to get that? They don't even make people like that anymore. The average white guy, you don't want them to have the same mentality they had 30 years ago. You feel what I'm saying, Walter? I think you know what I'm talking about. I'm just saying, like, some people had some very warped ideas about race 30 years ago. So I'm just saying, we're very fortunate to have a candidate running like this, and we got to put everything behind him. So, look, you're right. I will not accept anything less than a fair democracy, a fair election. And you're right. People are watching. But, I wanted to add this about Trump. I want to add this, Walter, Mr. Williams. Did you hear this? Trump's changing his tune already. He started walking back his comments. I said he started walking back his comments. Who's heard of this? Am I the only one? Okay, so he walked back his comments about Muslims. He said, when I said ban all Muslims, I was just making a suggestion. I wasn't saying we should actually ban all Muslims. Yeah, when I said ban them, I didn't mean ban them. I meant, like, maybe we should ban them. Can you believe that? So he's less dangerous, which makes him more dangerous. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, because he's less dangerous. That makes him more dangerous in a way, because that means people might start letting down their guard. The only reason why a Trump can survive or win is to go against a Hillary. So really, if this is true, Hillary needs to get out the way and let us do what we do with Biden. All right, guys. I got another phone call I want to go to. 504. Thank you for holding. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, Tim, is this me?
Yes, it's you. How you doing?
Good, brother. I got you on speaker. I'm about to take you off. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Right.
Henry?
Hell no, baby. Man, Hillary, they've been trying to put her in for years since they put her in the Senate. They've been wanting her in here forever, and Obama threw a wrench in that, and they had to eat it. And now Bernie's throwing the wrench, but Bernie's an outsider, and they don't want him in. So this whole Biden thing that you're talking about,
yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past the DNC to do it. They just don't want Bernie in there. It don't matter who. But the people aren't going to stand for it. There's no way. I mean, the whole country, I think it would be like a revolt. Even the Republicans, they're calling them out right now on their corruption with these, voter suppression and all the stuff. It's crazy that Hillary can have this email scandal. I mean, think about, all right, she erased more than half of her emails. So she's got more emails erased that were supposedly private than the ones that she had that were official business. So, I mean, that fact alone, let's assume that they were private, that they were, whatever it was, and they were private. How the hell can you be Secretary of State and have more leisure time to run around sending private emails than actually official business when you're the top diplomat for the United States? How do you say that she was doing serious work when more than half of her emails or communications were supposedly private? It's just ridiculous that they're trying to shove this horrible candidate down our throat, and now that there's a distinct possibility that she might be indicted, they want to just flip somebody out here like Joe Biden. I'm not saying that that's what they're going to do, but I wouldn't put it past them. I mean, like you guys everybody's been saying, look at what he said, well, maybe I'll go in there. I don't know, kind of thing.
Right.
On a sly. But, it pisses me off. I get so aggravated. And I'm glad that Bernie pulled the veil off of all this corruption. I was blinded to the fact of how much the DNC is corrupt until this election. I'm kind of like you, Tim, where I kind of judge people outside of just getting the relevant information. Is just, you can tell when somebody's a slime bag. And most of these politicians, you can see right through them. You can see they're a slime bag without even knowing the details. And now Bernie is showing us how bad it really is. And I don't know, man. I get so frustrated that the rest of the world don't see it like we see it. You know what I mean?
They're watching, though, brother. They're watching. I get people calling to the show. I know, I'm sure you listened to the show before. I mean, we got people calling all the time from Great Britain, New Mexico, Brazil. I got people from Singapore. I got people calling from all over the globe, man. New Zealand, Ireland. I got some great love from people in the Netherlands. They are watching this thing, and they're appalled, man. It's only getting worse.
Yeah, I know, and I feel hopeless, and at the same time I feel hopeful because so many people are coming to Bernie, but at the same time it's like everything is just rigged against us. It's like this well-oiled machine that they just don't want to let go of, and I mean, even though we can see this corruption, and like you just pointed out, people from around the world are seeing it, right. And yet we're still in an uphill battle. We shouldn't be this way. Bernie has no downsides. He's the only candidate in here that's positively rated. We got the two lowest rated people against each other, and they think that's normal? I mean, that's insane.
We look crazy. We look crazy, my friend. We do. We look crazy to the rest of the world. But look, thank you for your call. But look, man, just do this, man. Remember, man, you said you've been frustrated a couple times, man. Do not lose hope. We gonna fight. We gonna fight this. This is not over. This is just innuendo. Last thing I want people to do is to leave this show down. Because we're still doing what we do. But we'll know what to brace ourselves for and what to fight against. We may have to band together and really start marching and really start lining up and really start doing some sit-ins. We might have to fight for it. You know, a couple days ago, I had to push back on one of my friends who called up here, one of the friends to the show, who compared Sanders to MLK. And I had to push back like, whoa. That can cause more damage than good. That gets out, you start saying that, people be like, when was the last time somebody sick the dog on Bernie? What did Bernie do? You know, like, we got to watch that type of rhetoric, but hold up, this is my point. Maybe we're going to have to be like MLK. Maybe we're going to have to be like the people in the 60s who had to fight for it. See what I'm saying? That's where I'm going with this. Maybe we don't need to be looking for a new MLK. Maybe we all need to become MLK. Maybe we all need to start doing something more than tweeting, making videos. Me too. I'm in this. It's easy to sit behind my computer and make a video. It's a little bit harder to go to jail. And I don't mean the Democracy Spring jail either, where they go, well, we don't really have no place to put you. Oh, they find a place to put you. They find a place to put you. Put you in the holding cell for half a day, 2 days, and lose your paperwork like they do in New York. They got that place in New York they send you to where nobody even knows where you at. They don't even know they got you. And they don't have to, because they got the Patriot Act now that gives them the ability to not even say anything, not even charge you. But you know what? Maybe we're going to have to give up something. Do we want it that bad enough? Do we want it bad enough to fight for it? Do we want it bad enough to lose something for it? You love your kids that much? Do you want the air to breathe that much? Do we want it that much? Do we want a real democracy badly enough like other countries do? When they've had to do what they had to do to get it back? I mean, we lost control over it, man. Look, guys, that horse done left the barn, man. I'm just keeping it real with you. Look at the barn. You look in, all the horses are out the barn. The door's gone. Goodness gracious, the horses tore the door off the barn. I just stepped in. I got my good shoes on. Just give me something to think about. Because these companies think they run this country. Because they do. So what are we prepared to do about it? Just a thought, you know. Because Biden ain't doing nothing but being a good soldier. Whatever you say, boss. Shaking it over here, boss. Shaking it over here, boss. Shaking it over here, boss. Whatever you say, boss. There's companies behind this. All right. I got a 410 number I want to go to. 410, thank you so much for holding. What's your name and where you calling from? If I can just click it.
Hey, this is Ron from Baltimore.
Ron from Baltimore. You know I got love for you, Ron. I'm right here in Waldorf, Maryland, man. I'm not too far from you. What's going on, my friend?
Well, I'm probably a bit older than you. I remember the 60s. I was a couple years too young to get out there and protest. I think it's going to have to go to take over Philadelphia. And I mean millions. I mean, we need to take over Philadelphia. And like you say, you get behind a computer, being on Facebook, all this, that's all well and good to get the word out and for people to communicate. But, this whole Biden thing, I heard about it, 6-8 weeks ago, about the possibility because, the right side was putting this out about, possible indictment. And I just see that The deck has been stacked in so many ways. The president hasn't come out. Even the Sanders campaign has not been vociferous in demanding hand counts of ballots and exit polls not matching and the theft that is going on. And so many people saying, oh, that's a conspiracy, you know, when the Hillary trolls get on the websites. But I seriously think it's going to take a million people in Philadelphia. You know, Ed Rendell just came out, put it in print, ran his mouth from, you know, the former governor, I believe he is, or senator, saying that Bernie Sanders people need to behave themselves. We know how this is going to go. We're going to take a roll call. Bernie's going to be have his stake. He's going to lose, and they need to accept it. Now, if that is not an indictment of the Democratic Party, I don't know what is, besides Debbie Wasserman Schultz and all this crap that's been going on.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. And one of the things I like to say is one of the things that is very evident, my brother, is that we thought it was Republicans who only have these problems. This is
no.
You know what I'm saying? This is an unveiling of the real Democratic Party. Go ahead, man.
No, I understand exactly what you're saying. You see, the problem with Democrats is that they think that they can do the same things Republicans can. The Republicans, handle their business better than we do. They handle their business better than we do. That's why the former governor of Maryland turns the state over when he, you know, ran for president. And guess what? Maryland, which is 2-1 Democrat, said we need a Republican in here to run this state.
They sure did.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. I mean, people have to understand that when Democrats started moving right with Bill Clinton, when they started moving right, they started playing a dangerous game. And they got so close to these Republicans and how the Republicans handle their business, but you don't. The Republicans do one thing better than Democrats. They draw a line in the sand. And they say, I ain't budging. When you start talking about reaching across the aisle, what are you doing? You are saying, okay, I'll give you what you want. And you give me this. No. Republicans hold their line.
That's a very, hey guys, you got to give it up for that. That is very true, man. That's what the whole Tea Party is all about. Holding the line and then holding you accountable if you cross the line. You out of a job.
Yes.
Yeah. I love it, man.
And when Democrats started thinking that, well, we'll move to the right a little bit, and we'll start doing this, and yeah, we can go into Iraq. Hell, we're fighting we got troops in 4 different Middle East countries right now. Iraq, Yemen, Afghanistan, and Syria. And the people that we're fighting don't even like each other.
Goodness gracious.
And it's all a ruse. It's all a ruse. But getting back to this, what the Democratic Party is doing,
right,
is the Republicans are one step ahead of the Democrats right now in starting to come back together and getting their acts together and figure out what the next step is. All the Democrats are doing is trying to force feed Hillary Clinton down our throats.
Well, Ron, look, man, Ron, I got to leave it there, man. I got to try to get some of these calls in because I took so much time with my technical side of the thing. But look, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, man. I think you're a new caller, man. Please call in more often. I like the way you deduce that situation. And you know, very, very important points, guys. Look, the Republicans don't budge. The Republicans don't budge. They hold their ground. And that's what I was saying. And Ron, I don't know if you've been around long enough to know what I was saying when people was like, well, maybe we need to fall in line and start thinking about voting Hillary. I was like, what? Vote Hillary? After all the work, all the research, all the exposing, of her record, you actually can buy. Well, I said I'd vote for her. I didn't say I'd support her. What? Voting is supporting somebody. And people were splitting hairs with me. The word vote and the word support aren't the same thing. I'm like, well, when it comes to voting, we show our support by voting for someone. I couldn't believe I got pushback from that. But see, that's the thing. That's what Mr. Brown was saying. He's saying we got to learn to put a line in the sand and not cross it. And that's exactly what the Clintons did. Maybe some folks here don't know, but talk to some of our older folks who know a little bit about the history. They had this strategy that they were going to go after the Dixiecrats. They were going to go after the moderate Republicans. That's why they passed that awful legislation that only bigots would pass. You know, legislation that threw away the key on people for nonviolent crimes. Find a job in a year, you're off welfare, done, gone. They coined the phrase welfare queen. These were Democrats trying to remake the Democratic Party and grab some Republican voters. That was done by the Clintons. And Hillary's doing the same thing now. See, if you look at it, guys, same thing. Still Dre. Think I forgot about Dre. Forgot about Hillary. Come on now. Come on, guys. All right. Let me go to 1111111. I'm always nervous when I got a 1111111 number. But I'm going to take a shot at it. Hey, how you doing? You're live with Tim Black. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hello?
Hey, how you doing? Who's this?
Oh, good. I heard some feedback. I thought it was someone else talking. Okay, I'm well. How are you?
I'm fine. What's your name and where you calling from?
Jane, Boston.
Jane from Boston. All right, Jane. What's on your mind tonight?
Hey. Yeah, this thing about Biden, I mean, can they even do that? Can they actually just throw someone in if someone steps out? And it doesn't sound right. It doesn't make sense that they could. I don't even know if it's going to happen because I thought originally he was just bowing out of it in October because of his son had passed. So I'd be surprised if he jumped in, you know. So I don't know. Maybe they're just trying to do this to upset people or whatever. But I think there's three things that people need to focus on. I think Maine has the right concentration of trying to strip the superdelegates of their power when they voted. But I know they only wanted that to happen in 2020. But I think trying to strip superdelegates of their power would be the way to go, and then end Citizens United, and then change the primaries, like everybody has the same laws for primaries, maybe make them semi-closed or open primaries, so it's easy for people just to change their party affiliation and vote for whomever they want the same day. So I think those three things we should focus on. And definitely we should focus on being in Philadelphia in July with Bernie Sanders, for sure. I mean, just keep going, because I think he really has a chance. And yes, it's, as they said, an uphill battle, but they're scared. I mean, it's like the momentum that's here. We got to keep going. And as you mentioned in previous shows, that it's a movement that we've got to keep going no matter what, even after November. And some of these issues about changing the laws with the primaries and having everybody have the same kind of rules with the primaries, and Citizens United, get rid of the super delegates, and yes, let's push forward.
Yeah, I agree with you. I can't stand the idea of super delegates either. And you're right. I totally agree about open primaries. I want them open. I think you should be able to go up that day and change your mind and vote for whoever, as long as you're in the book to vote. As long as you have some form of identification. I don't care if it's driver's license, library card. I don't care. We don't have a lot of voter fraud. That's a Come on, man. That's like a tall midget. I mean, we don't have a lot of voter fraud. What we have is voter suppression. Not a lot of people up here pretending to, voting in places they can't vote in. That's rare. That's very rare. You're more likely to get struck by lightning. So I think it's all a gamble there, Jane. And yeah, I agree with you. But this whole idea, it's because of what Biden's been doing. And one of my friends here in the chat room, they're saying they think it's just a distraction. It may be so, but I don't put it past the Democrats to try something sneaky. I mean, when you start messing with people's money, I don't know how. You said you're from Boston, right? I don't know how they do in Boston, Jane, but in Maryland and D.C., when you try to take people money, they tend to fight you for it. I don't know.
They do it here too.
Okay, just checking, So I'm thinking maybe we've been a little lax, Jane, because, last time someone tried to take my money, they had a gun. But look, Jane, thank you so much for calling up, lady. I appreciate you. And that's a true story, too. I'll go into that some other time. Yeah, you should not sit in your car and talk with friends in wrong places. It's talking about life. We don't. You're like, I talk now. We talking one day. I'll talk about it another time. Do I go talking? Jane brings up a good point. Look. Like I said, it's not to. I don't want the mood to be sullen, But hey, man, I do want people to look at the corruption. And I don't know which one of my callers said it. Somebody said it. It's a beautiful thing. This gift we've been given by this campaign of Bernie Sanders. One of the gifts that will always be here for us is the gift of seeing the corruption at its deepest levels within the DNC. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one thing to think everything's cool. It's another thing to realize and come to have to face it and can't ignore underhandedness, like dirty dealing. Because I definitely didn't go into this expecting this. I just came into, I got to know a candidate. I liked him. I said, hey, I really like him. I'm going to stump for him. I'm going to do everything I can to help him. He's unknown. I need to help him spread the word. And then these things started happening. I didn't know they were going to happen. I don't know about you, but I did not plan on Arizona going from 200 polling places to 60. And then they're acting like that's normal. And then the lady being asked about it and then saying, well, whose fault is it? The voters. Why, they picked the polling places? No, well, they came to vote. That's their fault. They came to vote. I mean, just crazy stuff. So I didn't expect it. So I'm just as shocked as anyone else about the obvious corruption that you can't ignore it. It's like, I see you. Whoop-de-woo. All right, guys. Let me keep it moving. I hope you're still there, my friends. Looks like somebody dropped off. When you leave my queue, you throw me off because I hate missing a caller. I'm going to go with this number then. I'm just going to go based on the person who's been sitting here the longest, who hasn't spoken yet. I'm going to go with 770. Hey, 770, you're live.
Tim Black.
Hey, who's this?
This is Dave from Stone Mountain again, man.
Dave, what's up, man? How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing all right, man. It's good to talk to you again.
Always a pleasure, my friend. I mean, I need some. I don't know, but it's the subject matter we're talking about. It's kind of a downer, but hey, man, we got to recognize we're dealing with the DNC, like the Bloods and the Crips, man.
Ain't fine.
The Bloods and Crips, brother. Come on, man. Talk to me.
Yeah, it's a big club, and we ain't in it.
There it is.
I wanted to just do a quick comment on the topic. I don't think they're going to be able to do that. I think that if they try, there's so many people that have so much time, money, and emotion invested in what Bernie has done that if Hillary is indicted and they try and nominate, Biden with no votes, it would be pandemonium. I mean, that would be like the GOP at this point trying to just take the nomination away from Trump. I think you'd see violence and rioting in the street.
Dave, I just thought of something. Listen, guys. Dave, listen to this. Do you remember when Mitt Romney came out and he was like spanking Trump? They were floating this idea that Romney might run, right? Romney said he wouldn't run because he hadn't been on any ballots. And I was like, that's interesting that he just came out. This is getting more and more eerie. I'm sorry. This is getting more and more cryptic. You feel what I'm saying?
Well, they spin ideas. They run off at the mouth, man, and then they think about it and they realize, well, no, we can't do that, or something bad will happen. You know, they the GOP do it all the time. They run off at the mouth. So, but then I think when they think about it, then they say, well, we can't do that. You know, our party would completely collapse. Nobody would ever vote for us again if we steal the nomination from somebody with so much influence and votes like Trump. And I think the same thing would happen on the Democratic side. But I wanted to bring up something that nobody's talking about that I thought Bernie was going to do from the beginning, and I haven't heard it. And I heard it mentioned on mainstream media a while back, and I wanted to bring it up is, will Bernie try and force his way on the ticket? I haven't heard anybody talk about that yet.
How would he force his way? What you mean, Dave? What you mean? Force?
Well, I mean, they can't win without him. I mean, there's two ways it could go. One is they could say, well, we don't care if Democrats win. We're going to make sure one of our elites, Republican or Democrat, wins, period. And they just don't care in the end whether they win or not. Or they really are trying to win. And, well, Bernie holds a lot of power with the DNC. He's not just some guy running anymore. He's got 45% of the vote. And by the time California votes, I think he's going to catch at least a little bit more. Even if he doesn't get the delegate lead, which he says is tough, he's going to catch him a little bit more. And he might be like 48% or so. But, I mean, you see the way the DNC is treating him. I mean, they're treating him like dirt. They don't care about him or us at all, practically. But behind closed doors, you know what they're going to try and do. But Bernie has a lot of power now. He could just give them the finger and say, you're going to vote for me, period, whether you like it or not, or I will tell you to go to hell. Now, he doesn't talk like that on the open because obviously he can't do it. But I heard somebody on mainstream media just mentioned it briefly, and I tend to think that's not something he would do, but we're talking about a guy who marched with Martin Luther King, and you and your last callers were kind of inching toward this, like, do we have to march? Do we have to really get out there and demand it like they did in the 60s? And this is a possibility. Bernie could, when they start doing their dirty stuff behind closed doors, he could just tell them to go F off. You are going to get the superdelegates to nominate me, period, or I will not help you. And so I just wanted your thoughts on that because that is a possible outcome.
Well, look, Dave, man, thank you for the question, man. Let me give that respect it deserves, man. Wow. Dave said, man, what do I think about Bernie throwing his weight around a little bit? Listen, I said this at the beginning of the show, Dave, and I'm sticking with it. Listen, man, I think they'd rather Trump win. I think it's all BS, man. Everybody acting scared of Trump. They ain't scared of Trump. Trump already talking about he was lying. He's already walking back his comments on gays, already walking back his comments on Muslims and Mexicans and walls. He's all, man, this guy, they're not afraid of Trump. They want you to be afraid of Trump. He's a tactic. He tested the water. What you just said, Dave, you said they throw things out to test the water, right? When he said, well, you know, I could shoot a guy in the middle of the street and I'd still vote for me. That was a water test if ever there was one. Because you know what? He went up in the polls. So him saying, hey, I was just joking when I said I was going to ban all Muslims. He already walked that back, and I bet you he hasn't filled in the polls. We won't know till next week because he just said it this week. And he met with the establishment. He didn't brush them off. He didn't brush off Paul Ryan. He actually went there and met with him. So we'll see how he's polling next week. My money says he's polling higher because people like him anyway. I saw some goofy dude on Facebook, man, and I know I shouldn't even say it. Just because he was a black dude just seemed kind of goofy. Why voting for Trump? 600,000 views. Because you're dumb. That's why. But it's not because I think Trump's a racist, because I don't know the guy. I don't know the guy's heart. I can tell you this. He a part of the establishment. Name a billionaire that's not a part of an establishment. Hell, he is there twice on Sundays before they take Bernie one day. That's what I believe, man. Because Bernie's the only one who's a threat to the establishment. Neither Hillary nor Trump are threats to the establishment. No one running was. None of those goofy GOP, none of them were a threat to the establishment. None of them. All of them. Rubio, Bush, Carson, all of them that couldn't wait to, itching to fall in line. Itching. Can I fall in line? Please let me, like they playing double dutch. Can I fall in line, please? Can I fall in line? Same thing on the Democratic side. I ain't getting them other. Chafee, O'Malley, Webb, good little soldiers. Immediately went and had a seat. I wanted for president. No, you're not going to have a seat. I guess I'm not. Go over here and have a seat. And that's exactly what they did. Bernie's the only one who stood up to him. Bernie's the only threat. So, that being said, yeah, I don't put it past him. I don't put it past him. But look, let me go to the next call. I have a 404 number. I'd like to find out who's on the other end of that. Hey, 404, you're live with Tim Black. What's your name and where you calling from?
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Yeah, you are following me and I am following you also.
That's what
So
I
just
remember
gave
the
you a
name,
donation.
yeah.
Yeah. So, so I was thankful for your show yesterday where you talked about Obamacare because I had left my job and I mean it's very hard to criticize it, but my premium is pretty high for a single person. You know, like I have to pay $400 if I want to keep my deductible $2,000. Otherwise, I have to, you know, if I go down, then my deductible will go up. You know, so it's a very difficult system, and you cannot criticize it. And today, Obama actually said that he warned the supporters of Bernie Sanders indirectly that they oversimplify things and the change happens very slowly. But I personally think it happens very slowly only because we don't demand it very strongly. I mean, it's not that it will happen very fast, but at least in 2008, if we had started with the public option when the Democrats had the House and the Senate, he could have pushed much better than Obamacare instead of sitting with the Republicans and compromising. But the problem is that if you take money from any person, whether it's Obama or Bernie Sanders, if they take money from the campaign, like corporates, then you have to consider their interest as well. So basically, there's nobody representing our interest completely, and no one of Bernie Sanders supporter feels that Bernie Sanders can do it alone. But at least he will only be our representative. So even if he's negotiating, he'll be just thinking about us. So we never got such a president for a long time who can represent us. So this is our only chance. And I don't even know if somebody else can build up such a record for 30, 40 years. Because there can be a new guy like, I mean, anybody can come in and say that I'll do the same thing, but they won't have any history and they will cheat you. But with Bernie Sanders, we got like 30, 40 years of history, and I don't know how you produce that kind of history. It's very difficult. So I just hope that we try what we can right now because he's running out of money in California, and we want to win California and put pressure in the delegation. So it was nice to talk to you. Yeah.
Thank you, Vivek, my man. Look, that was a very strong call. I loved it. Let me give this guy some applause, man. That was that was it. This is everything I've been trying to say. I think you may have said it better, my friend. It definitely in a shorter period of time. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say. That's right. And you're right about the money. Vivek, can you believe, sir, that I had people with IQs above 40 question me when I say, When you take money from someone, you owe them something. Now, these same people get up and go to work every day for a paycheck. A paycheck that is paid in what? Money. Those same people, without getting that paycheck, would they get up and go to their job? A lot of them would not. But they don't understand the idea that when Hillary takes money from private prisons, Wall Street, pharmaceuticals, fossil fuels, these industries, that they have a say in what she does. And her throwing out that thing, which you didn't take it, because you obviously, Vivek, you know the deal with Obamacare. When she says, well, you know, Obama took money. Or when she throws out the Wall Street, well, Obama took more Wall Street money than anybody. He's been the toughest on Wall Street. How many people did he prosecute from the Wall Street fraud? There's only one person who went to jail for Wall Street fraud. He's a low-level dealer, man. Not a CEO. Poor guy. Talk about scapegoat. Look up the word scapegoat. There'll be a picture of this white guy looking just in his $3,000 suit like, I cannot believe they did me this way. Vivek, you're right. I believe, as I said earlier in this show, man, it's too hard to build up a track record like Bernie Sanders, man. Everybody else would have to take polygraphs. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I would need a person. I would need a private investigator for every. I will never ride this hard for a candidate again. It just means something when I can go back and look at footage of you 30 years ago saying the same thing you're saying now. It just goes a long way for credibility. I will never go this hard for another candidate. Ever. It won't happen. Guys, as long as I do a show, you never hear me go this hard for a candidate. I can have my own studio, have a staff of people, have reporters in different cities. I could even have my own building like the Young Turks. I think the Young Turks got a couple buildings. And I will never go in for a candidate like this again because I wouldn't feel comfortable doing it, man. My name is all I got. Bernie is the last of a dying breed. All right. Thank you so much for holding 860-860. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, this is Corey from Connecticut. How you doing?
Hey, Corey from Connecticut, man. Thank you for being here, man. What's on your mind tonight, Corey?
So I'm Bernie or bust. Something I've been thinking about is McGovern, and basically the DNC has decided that they're, I don't know, afraid to run a liberal. Maybe they need the same fear of neoliberals.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. And the other thing I just wanted to say about Hillary is basically the biggest threat that I see in this election is the TPP. And I know for sure that she's going to flip right back if she's elected.
Yep.
You know, so really I see her as the greater evil for that reason alone. And that's it. I just wanted to get that off my chest.
Well, look, thank you, Corey. I agree with you about that TPP, man. That's horrible stuff, man. I feel like, man, that's making me, you know, that's some Alex Jones stuff they're talking about there, Corey. Anyone familiar with what they're trying to do? It's like New World Order. Scary stuff, man. Seriously, people need to look into the TPP. Like they make rules where if you mess with profits, you go to jail, buddy. Like you think you're gonna be on Amazon talking crap? Like they're gonna I'm serious. It's crazy what they're proposing. Any dissension can mean prosecution. It's like fascism, man. If you really dig down deep into that TPP. As far as neoliberals, they're not scared of neoliberals. They are neoliberals. Yeah, but I understand what you're saying. We should be. But listen, most of America has been sold. Most of Democrats have been sold on fear of Trump. They were sold on that fear of Trump. That's why they made him say this. He said all this crazy stuff. People got scared. I know for a fact there are a lot of people who one of my callers, he called in. He said, you know, A friend of his is Muslim, and he's very afraid for his family. Living in America now because of Trump. What do you think that guy voted for, even if he heard Bernie? If he loved Bernie, thought Bernie had the perfect plan or a much better plan, a far more beneficial plan for his family. If he watches mainstream news and heard time after time after time that there was no way that Bernie could win, who do you think he voted for? Out of fear. Can you blame him? I mean, I don't understand. I don't want him to, but I'm saying, man, this is the thing. I think sometimes we need to be a little bit more sympathetic to one another because people are being lied to. People are really, I mean, it's a strategic thing going on. You know, people are being lied to. It's strategic. It's on purpose. It's not just people going, I don't care. Some people actually believe the journalists that they watch. I hope some of y'all believe me. Just so happens you're believing the right guy, you know? Because I'm not in this to become super millionaire dude with jet skis and, well, nothing wrong with a jet ski. That's cheap. But you know what I'm saying. Like, I'm not in it to drive a Bentley. I'm an older guy. I didn't had a good job and did a couple of things in life and then want to just live my dream and want to do what makes me feel good. It's different for me. As long as I can live indoors and take care of the people I love, and they take care of me, we good, you know. But some people got stuff in their eyes. It's like they wanted, how much money can I have? And who else? Well, I'll sell my mother for more money. I push an old woman down some steps for some more money. I'll sell my brother down the river. That's not who I am. And Rachel Maddow's contract is $7 million. $7 million. And people say, how could she do that? $7 million is why she could do that. See, I don't have those type of temptations. I get a ding. I look at my PayPal. Somebody donated $3. I'm happy. You feel me? Rachel Maddow probably has a governor on her phone. She's only alerted when the number is, 10,000 or better. You're making $7 million a year. I mean, oh, who's this Tim Black guy on the internet? Oh, he said mean things about me. Ooh, I'm so scared. Ooh, I feel so bad. Please, somebody get me some gold just so I can just rub my fingers through it. Put it on my girlfriend and just... All right. But yeah, I forget why I said all that. I think it was just to say that, some people, they believe the wrong things. But it's because they've been lied to and they put trust in the people like Rachel Maddow, Chris Hayes, Anderson Cooper, Joy Reid, these people. And it's not all their fault because they believed them, These people lying to them are good liars. Wolf Blitzer, they got pictures and everything. They got screens with poll numbers and they have people they talk, they get in panels and they all leave out stuff. They have you convinced that Bernie can only get, just look at it this way. And this is why it's so important and people don't understand it. I want to say we get to the end of this whole election cycle and some people still don't get it. I want to make sure, I want to listen. The African American experience in America is a very difficult, tenuous experience over the years, right? We can all agree, right? Okay. Civil rights, we go beyond that. We go Jim Crow, slavery. Okay. The thing that's so damaging that they've been saying about Bernie is self-fulfilling about African Americans because African Americans feel that he doesn't do well with African Americans because he doesn't like African Americans. See, that's a thing. It's a psychological thing. If you go to a place and there's nobody like you in that place and everyone says, well, black people don't go there. This is a historical thing. So what they've been doing has been very damaging to Bernie Sanders. People looking at it the wrong way. They're saying, why don't black people vote for him? Well, maybe because the media keeps saying black people don't vote for him. And then people think, well, there's a reason why black people aren't voting for him then. Why come other black people don't vote for him? And then they hear them say, well, you know, Trump is racist and he got Klan members at the rally and all this stuff and skinheads and Hillary's the only one that can beat Trump. So they're hearing this stuff. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody follow me here? So sometimes we blame the people when you got to blame the system. And I keep saying, man, we got to blame the media. And unlike that goofy woman, whoever that was who jumped in my timeline this morning, when I said something about Rachel Maddow, who said, don't bully Rachel. Rachel's a millionaire who could care less about what somebody said about her on Twitter. You doofus. First of all, it's not bullying if it's true. It's not bashing if it's true. So we need to have a little bit more empathy for our people, man, who've been suckered and lied to by experts at suckering and lying. You know, somebody pick your pocket. That's different. You know, maybe you should have put your money in your front pocket. But if your friend picks your pocket, who you thought was your friend, because you left your money on your desk or on your dresser and they're your friend and you trust them, I mean, it's bad. It ain't really your fault, is it? All right, so let me go to, I got a couple more calls, man. I've got a 203 number I want to go to. Thank you for holding 203.
What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, this is Juan from Jersey.
Juan from where? From Jersey? From Jersey?
Yeah.
Hey, man, how you doing,
From
Juan?
Compton, New Jersey.
Hey, man, thank you, Juan.
I'm doing all right.
Good, good. What's on your mind, Juan?
I just wanna say something to see what you think about Biden coming in, because nobody's gonna like Biden once he comes in. Nobody's gonna vote for Biden, you know. So it's either Trump. Like when Hillary gets indicted, if she gets indicted before the general, I mean, it's gonna be Trump. Trump is already like gathering huge crowds, so he already got a lot of votes. So if she gets indicted and they put in Biden, I think that's just the perfect opportunity for Bernie to go third party, right there, because you know he's gonna pull a lot of votes because people are like Trump. He's gonna be the one that people like,
right?
And nobody likes Biden, you know. So I think that if they don't give the candidacy to Bernie, he has to run third party, and I think if he runs third party, he's gonna kill. He's gonna swipe the floor with Biden. So I mean, and even if we do get Trump, I'm from the Dominican Republic. I've seen worse presidents. So he's just a loud mouth, you know. I've seen my president used to say, people used to say, you know how much an egg costs? Eggs are really expensive because they used to be like $10 an egg. So he used to say, like, you know how long does a chicken gotta go around and around to lay? To say stuff like that. They're all right. And in Dominican Republic, the president has more power. Here, Trump is gonna be controlled from all around. So even the worst Trump, it's not gonna be that bad, you know.
I hear you. No one's gonna vote for Biden. I love the way you say Biden.
Nobody gonna vote for him, man.
Hey, thank you, Juan, for your call, man. You sound like a new caller, man. Keep calling in, man. I like you. You make good points, but you're also funny, man. And we need to laugh a little bit. We need to feel good. Listen. You know you're right. People don't jump to the conclusion.
90 seconds.
Oh, this thing. I hate this countdown thing, guys. But yeah, Juan's got a good point. Just because they put him in the lineup don't mean he gets elected like he wins the presidency. It'd be a whole wasted effort. I mean, do you guys really think Obama could get elected a third time if he ran? Because that's exactly what Biden would look like. Obama.
60 seconds.
Just older, more handsy, and a little bit lighter. Someone said there'll never be a president with hair plugs. Well, Trump got a comb over and a toupee comb over. I don't know what that is. But yeah, I tend to agree with Juan, man. Even if they did sucker us and lie to us and backstab us, and just think about all the money people have donated. Oh, man. I think that would be a riot, guys. I'm sorry. That would be a riot. Cenk Uygur, that would be a riot, sir. There would be you thought Baltimore was bad. You thought Ferguson was bad. This would be a riot. I mean, come on. These white kids going to lose their mind.
10 seconds.
I'm serious. They would lose their mind. You steal this election that way. White kids burn down stuff because their team won. Imagine what they do if you rob their team. They destroy stuff when they're happy. I guess that's why it's a difference, because they're smiling when they do it. That's why it doesn't get the same negative publicity what black people do. But anyway, listen, guys. I'm just saying, this is serious business, guys. Michael Stapleton said white kids matter. Yeah, they matter. This is crazy. You guys making me laugh, man. Listen. At the end of the day, I don't want anybody feeling down or anyone soaking, right? Because we aren't done yet. It's just a theory. And some people have dismissed it. Some people have embraced it. Some people have, well, not embraced it, but they've seen a validity in the theory based on how underhanded the DNC is. And they're like, wow, you know what? I don't put anything past them. You know, at this point, if the DNC did Weekend at Bernie's. Remember Weekend at Bernie's? They had a guy who died, and then he died, and they had to make him look like he was alive. And there was another movie where this guy plays the president, and he does like a body double for the president because the president dies, and then they didn't want anyone to know, so they had this guy look just like him, pretend to be the president. And the wife, the first lady, didn't even know that the president had died, and this guy's passed himself off as the president, as her husband. It was really weird. Sigourney Weaver. So, like, I don't put that past the DNC. Like, there's very few things I put past the DNC if they can get away with it. I mean, we're talking about lots of money at stake. Lots of money. All the money. We print money, remember? People can disappear and money can end up in bank accounts, all that stuff. I'm going to tell you something, guys. I'm being real with you. When I first started doing videos about the Clintons, I was a little paranoid. Yeah, I was a little paranoid, guys. I ain't going to lie to you. I mean, it didn't stop me because I believed in what I was doing, and I felt like a voice needed to be there for Bernie. And Killer Mike couldn't do it all. And whether some people believe it or not, you know, I couldn't believe it. I think I had an effect on some stuff just because people were seeing a regular guy talking that way. I know I had some people come up and start doing it after me, so I think I affected them. But at the end of the day, I was a little paranoid sometimes, man. It'd be late at night. Show ended 12:30, 1 o'clock. It's real quiet in the house, man. I'm like, who that out there? Hope they ain't send nobody come get me. You know, because, you know, they could just drop zone you. Drop Squad you. Drop Squad, old movie where they come get you at night, put you in the van, take you to the place, reprogram you know? So I'm just saying, but you know, so I don't put anything past the DNC. I don't put anything past the Clintons. I don't put anything past the DNC, the Democrat National Committee, or powers that be, or big corporations. Do you realize how much money we're talking about? Look, Walmart got $7.8 billion in subsidies. $7.8 billion. Hello? Y'all got your attention yet? I wonder how much would they be willing to spend to get Biden to run if they I mean, just saying. It's an interesting thing. Look, guys, thank you so much for calling in tonight, man. I won't know how good the sound was, and I can't wait to hear it later on to find out. I want to hear you all very clear, crystal clear. Look, guys, everyone, do me a favor. Go to the podcast. Podcast is on iTunes. It's on Stitcher Radio. Forget Blog Talk Radio. Go to iTunes or Stitcher Radio. And I don't mean any disrespect, Blog Talk Radio, but I really want to increase my numbers on those other two platforms. Blog Talk Radio, I actually pay for that. I pay monthly to be able to have a phone line. And, iTunes. Go to iTunes or Stitcher Radio and check out the podcast and see if it sounds better. I know Momo Pineno was telling me about the feedback, and we've been trying to deal with it. I hope we got it conquered today. I want to give some shout out to my people, man, for being here tonight, man. Shout out to Nested Green, Sister Sarah, Nag P. Gup. I don't know what that must stand for something. H.G. Osb, Dr. Cat, Jimmy Stone, my moderators, of course, Iron Man Oz, When I Rap, and Liberty, not a license. Thank you, Liberty, for helping me do my sound check at the top of the show, man. I appreciate you. What I will do is I will mark off so I'll know where my settings were at the end of the show. Pierre Desalanis, Nicole Luongo, Rodney Jackson, Truth Can't Be Silent, Sharon Rance, Rusty Shack, Raymundo Grayson, Tracy Navarro, Jason Glover, Ken Clutch, you know it, man, Rebecca Hutchison, Rob Lyles, my man. Yeah, what's up with that fascist remark that Butler sent? That was crazy. He can be locked up for a long time behind that. He threatened the president. You can't talk about killing the president. You damn fool. I don't care if you 85 or 105. All right, Sean Weimer, baby's mama. Night to you, lady. Bruins for Bernie. Good to see you. Lakeisha Rankin. How you doing, Lakeisha? Claire Ahiri. Gerald Grooms. Diane Winward. Jimmy Stone. I think I called some of these out before. Eugene. My oldest brother's name is Eugene. Eclectic Tyrone. Eclectic into his house. Somebody get the crack. Oh, God. Aaron Domine. Thank you. Thank you, Aaron, for supporting the show. I appreciate you, my friend. And the whole crew, man. Bond, Dark Platinum, 64 Cadillac Coupe de Ville. My man Q DeMayo. Thank you, Q DeMayo. And look, guys, if you got a t-shirt, which I hope you did, because I asked everyone to please go purchase a t-shirt. If you got a t-shirt, please send me a picture of you in the shirt for a collage I'm doing. I want to put that together. I feel like I'm going to put that. I'm going to get my website updated, and I'm going to use that on the website. And so, oops, I'm typing in the wrong thing. Just if you can, guys, they're not too expensive. I don't get all the money for the t-shirts. If you get the Bernie or Bust t-shirts, I will donate half the profit. Because remember, the t-shirt's $20, it's $27, but 20 of that I don't even get. Because they do the fulfillment, they do the printing, they do the shipping. They really make the money when you buy a t-shirt like this. Unless I do my own print and press. But hey, if more people bought them, then I would make something off of them. But I like the idea of people not just giving money, but actually getting something. Plus, you get to promote the show. So anyway, here goes the link, guys. If you want to get a t-shirt from the show, please, here you go. And if you do it, please take a picture of it and show it off, man. Show off yourself. I love to put you on my website. And I always show love to people that show love to me. So that's what we do. I want to make sure I got everybody. Stunning Lad 1. I'm just looking. Let me get a quick look through it. Julie. I saw a Julie. A Will Craig. Julie Theus. I got you. Carmelina Fotar. Joseph Moore. Biology 24. And Hey Hun. These are my regulars. You know what, man? We have a really good group. Isn't that right, Rodney Jackson and Light Flyer? The countdown be acting like Debo. Dude, don't it? And you realize that they just muscle a brother. I'm like, come on, I pay for them and they do me like that. But I guess they want to alert people in 10, 1 minute. It's like very rude how they Debo me. What phone line? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how they do me. All right, guys. Look, what else was I gonna say? Oh, okay, yeah, we gotta close this the right way, guys. You know how it is, man. My favorite comedian, your favorite comedian, I hope, or at least one of your favorite comedians. You know how we do it. At the end of the show, it's the same thing. Ain't nothing changed, guys. They try to take our cornbread. It's gonna be what?
It's gonna be consequences and repercussions.
Shout out to my favorite comedian of the last 10 years. You know his name. What's his name? Hold on now.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Come on, sucker. Let's get it on.
That ain't him. That's Della Reese. But this is my man right here.
Let's sprinkle some crack on him and get out of here.
Sprinkle some facts on him and let's get out of there. I'm Tim Black. I see you tomorrow at noon if you're available for the Tim Black Progressive Day. There'll be updates and stories and new stories. And then tomorrow night is Freedom Friday. That's when you get your 5 minutes of fame. You call in, get it off your chest. Don't drive your spouse or your boyfriend or your girlfriend crazy. Just call up to the show and get it off your chest. We'll listen to you if no one else will. I'm Tim Black, man. I got love for you. And I'll see you tomorrow. Where's my theme music? Let's see if we can get back to the music, because, hell.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia. New intro. That's the name of it. I got to get used to this.
Tim Black.
That does sound buffy.
Tim Black. Tim Black. Yes, I am. True. Funny. Tim Black. I am TimBlack.com. Tim Black.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow. There it is.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.